Welcome everyone to Evergreen, the gala for the Morton Arboretum. I'm Gerry Donnelly, President and CEO of the Arboretum, and I'm so excited to welcome you to the 2020 Evergreen Gala Virtual Edition. What a year 2020 has been for us all, and now the coronavirus pandemic has prevented us from gathering in person at what is a much anticipated event held each year in support of the Arboretum's tree-focused mission. Typically, right now, we'd be together at the Arboretum, surrounded by beautiful trees and landscapes. But even though we are not there, the trees are. Trees at the Morton Arboretum and around the world stand as symbols of longevity, strength, optimism, and inspiration. Trees are a bright spot in our lives, and as we persevere through this pandemic, we are staying focused on the long-term view. And that is why we are gathered tonight to raise much-needed funds to ensure the Arboretum, its trees, and the trees of the Chicago region and around the world continue to thrive long into the future, providing benefits for the environment and for people and our communities. The pandemic has certainly taken a toll on the Morton Arboretum, including a substantial financial impact. The Arboretum lost an average of $45,000 per day when it was closed. And even after opening, we continue under capacity limits and limited operations. That's why tonight is so important, and why your contributions to the Arboretum have never been more vital. Tonight's event is possible because of the volunteer leadership of the host committee, whose members include Susan and Chris Burke, Tricia and John Conley, Sterling and Zach Decker, Leanne and Mark Gossett, Angela and Jim Jensen, Liz and Steve Van Arsdale, Kristen and Michael Van Eckeren, and Oriana and Adam Von Sommeren. Thank you, host committee members, for your dedication and creativity in planning this virtual edition of the gala. To tonight's many sponsors, thank you for your generosity. In particular, thanks to those at the Oak sponsor level for their philanthropic contributions. A. Merrick Fine Jewelry, the G. Carl Ball Family Foundation, and Charles and Monica McQuaid. I also wish to recognize the Arboretum's Board of Trustees, now chaired by Steve Van Arsdale, for unwavering belief in the Arboretum through the challenges of today and with an eye on better days for the future. Since the Arboretum reopened in June, donors, members, and guests have savored the opportunity to enjoy the trees and natural landscapes of its 1,700 acres. I've heard from many just how much they missed the Arboretum when we were closed, and how glad they are now that they can enjoy and be calmed by the healthful and restorative power of trees and nature. The Arboretum has resumed many services, programs, and events as possible, adjusting to operate in new and different ways during the pandemic crisis. In July and August, we safely provided summer science camps for children. We began to welcome back volunteers who tend to natural areas and horticultural displays, maintaining the beautiful quality of plant collections and landscapes. The Visitor Center reopened with special precautions, including the Arboretum store and the Ginkgo restaurant and cafe. The Children's Garden reopened in August, allowing tree champions of all ages to reconnect safely with the joys of plants and nature. I'm so proud of the staff and volunteers who are ever adapting and working hard to ensure that members and guests stay safe while enjoying their visit and involvement in the Arboretum. And all of this is only possible through the generosity of supporters, possible because of your generosity. Which brings us to tonight and why we are gathered virtually. With your help, through your support of the Evergreen Gala, we'll be able to blunt the financial impacts of the pandemic and continue the Arboretum's mission to plant and protect trees for a greener, healthier, and more beautiful world. Your willingness to give will help the Arboretum get through these trying times and keep advancing the tree planting mission set forth by Joy Morton for generations to come. Tonight's event includes some exciting silent auction prizes, all of which you can bid on from the convenience of your smartphone or computer. Get ready to bid on an experience kayaking the Arboretum's section of the DuPage River, or glamping at the Arboretum in the comfort of an Airstream luxury trailer. Or maybe you'll be the lucky winner of a custom winter lights display to be installed in your very own home garden, courtesy of Light Switch, designer of illumination. As tree champion in chief, I'm not the only one who feels passionate about trees. Many colleagues, community friends, and some surprise guests are lined up to share their passion and gratitude with you too. So sit back, relax, pour yourself a glass of your favorite beverage, bring up the Give Smart app on your phone, and let's have some fun for the good of the Arboretum and the trees.
Good evening. My name is Steve Van Arsdale. My wife Liz and I have been members of the Arboretum for many years, and for the past several years have had the pleasure of serving on the planning committee for this, our annual dinner. This year, I'm doubly honored to serve as the chair of the Board of Trustees of the Arboretum, and also to welcome you to this event, our annual fundraising gala, the Evergreen Gala. Through our scientific efforts and collaborations around the globe, we seek to enhance the future environment for us all, for our children, and for our grandchildren, so that they may truly benefit from a greener, healthier, and more beautiful world. Thank you for your ongoing support of the Arboretum, and thank you for being the champions of trees. Enjoy.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining the virtual Evergreen Gala for the Morton Arboretum. I figured my backyard would be the perfect place to let you know why the Arboretum is so special to me. First of all, they have so many incredible, fun, family-friendly events. My favorite is the Glass Pumpkin Patch. I love broadcasting live, my Weekender segment there every year. I usually end up buying a bunch of things before my broadcast is over. And even this summer, when the Morton Arboretum reopened, I broadcast my virtual Weekender from home, decked out with plants, making my own virtual Arboretum. But most of all is the important work that they do to plant and study trees and make our world a greener, healthier, and beautiful place. Thank you, and thank you for your support.
Hi everybody, Congressman Mike Quigley. I want to thank all of you for participating in the Evergreen Gala supporting the Morton Arboretum. Like most of you, I grew up with the Morton Arboretum and recognize it as a national and a local treasure for us all to enjoy. So your help means more now than ever. And they're doing so many things to allow us to enjoy the Arboretum during these difficult times. The safety measures, the hiking possibilities are really endless. So thank you so much for participating. I've got my hiking shoes and clothes and lucky hat on, ready to go out there and enjoy nature, because experts are telling us this is the time to get out there and enjoy those precious resources we have. So thanks so much again, and please enjoy nature. Please enjoy our Arboretum. Thank you.
My wife Karen and I feel like we have a very special connection with Morton Arboretum. Through the years, we have walked its acreage, marveling at the beauty all around us, and feeling lucky to have a sanctuary like this so close to home. As new grandparents, we so enjoy bringing Maisie and Colby to the children's garden and seeing the world through their eyes. Karen and I even took an aerial yoga class where I ended up looking like a purple tea bag. And every year we look forward to illuminations. So here's to many more years of beauty and education. This is the song that I wrote and performed back in my days with Survivor. It says it all. Morton Arboretum, you have the eye of the tiger. Check it out. Rising up back on the street.
my chances. With the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. So many times it happens too fast. You trade your passion for glory. Don't lose your grip on the dreams of the past. You must fight just to keep them alive. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rival. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night. And he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger. The eye of the tiger. Morton Arboretum got the eye of the tiger.
Thanks everybody for joining the virtual Evergreen Gala for the Morton Arboretum. Unfortunately, we can't do this in person this year, but thank you all for your support of this special place. It spans more than 1,700 acres, home to more than 200,000 plants. I've always enjoyed my trips to the Arboretum. I've learned about its diverse and unique plant species. When the Arboretum was founded 100 years ago by Joy Morton, it was considered to be a museum of trees. And for nearly 100 years, it's played a critical role in preservation, conservation, and education in the Chicago area. It continues to be a leader in scientific research on tree health and tree improvement, offering a number of programs to engage the community in the importance of conservation. None of this would be possible without your support. So I want to thank you for working to ensure the future of the Arboretum for years to come. I look forward to seeing you in person sometime very soon.
How's it going, everybody? It is Lance Bass, and trees are obviously important for all of us. So on behalf of Bob Ream and his family, we hope you will consider donating tonight to the Morton Arboretum. Every little bit helps. All right, guys, have fun tonight. Mwah!
My name is Christine Carrier, and I'm the Center for Tree Science Fellowship Coordinator here at the Morton Arboretum. A key part of my role involves supporting the Arboretum's REU program, which stands for Research Experiences for Undergraduates. The REU program is a nationally competitive fellowship for students interested in plant science. 8 undergraduate students spend 10 weeks exploring research topics such as climate variability, soil biodiversity, and rare plant conservation under the leadership of Arboretum scientists.
Hi, my name is Maddie Fernandez. I am part of the 2020 REU, and I am a undergraduate junior at DePaul University studying environmental studies and geography. I am working with Dr. Sylvia Alvarez-Clare and Dr. Christy from DePaul University on the endangered tree species Quercus brandigi. This is a rare endemic oak in Mexico that has had a lot of troubles regenerating successfully by itself. We are looking at possible human influences such as herbivory by cattle in the nearby ranches as one of the reasons that it might not be able to regenerate as successfully. So we're looking at data, hopefully with the goal to be able to make future recommendations on how to more successfully conserve the species. And hopefully the goal is to take it off the endangered red list. But I'm really interested in design and architecture. But I'm also really interested in ecology, and I'm especially interested in how we use space, both right now, but also in the future as we consider climate change impacts. So the REU has really given me a very important outlook on what a career in ecology could do and what it could look like. Before I thought it was really academic, and it has really given me a whole new world of possibilities in which I could potentially merge these two interests together. It's been really valuable in that aspect.
I'm Theodore James Bohdanowycz, and I am part of the Morton REU program 2020. My experience has been really good so far. I'm so grateful that they continued the REU program this year. Thank you for all those people at the Arboretum that made it happen. I've learned a lot, And then we have the tree talks and meet a scientist. So we get to meet a new scientist every week. When I graduate college, I would love to be working for a conservation and sustainable development organization where they go in and actively try to conserve ecosystems or species, and then help transition like our communities to more sustainable ways of living, particularly in the food area, so regenerative agriculture.
While we weren't able to meet in person this summer, students were still able to develop their knowledge and professional careers with weekly online science seminars and regular Lunch with the Scientist sessions on Zoom, all while still performing their research work. We look forward to watching these students grow into the next generation of tree champions. We are incredibly grateful to our donors and members as their support makes the REU program possible.
I want to say thank you to all the Morton Arboretum donors
for making this summer's research possible.
Hello, Morton Arboretum. Congressman Sean Casten here with my daughter Audrey, who is delighted to be here today. We're in Washington, and sorry not to be joining you. The Evergreen Gala has been such a special and important part of all that Morton Arboretum does. Thank you all for supporting them. You know, Morton Arboretum has been such a key part ever since we moved to Downers Grove in 2007 when Audrey was not talking, 6 months old, something like that. And all the time we spent at the Children's Garden, and then of course at the Holiday Lights festivals, and then walking around the gardens, and now more recently, of course, in Congress, have been proud to help provide funding for some of the tree preservation work that's being done there, and let's be honest, to really nerd out with the scientists and go back and forth and look at all this fascinating research that's being done in those labs back in the back part that you don't get to see. But it is truly a resource to our community. So grateful to be part of the community that I get to represent in this job, and I thank you all for supporting their mission. Stay safe, everybody.
Hi, it's Peter Sagal, the host of NPR's Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, and as you may remember, the host of last year's Morton Arboretum Gala, when we all got together, you know, back when we were allowed to. I was thinking today, really, based on something I heard on public radio, in fact, about the fact that when I was a kid, we used to have these woods that I could go to, or with my friends, or by myself, just to wander around in the woods, see what was there, you know. Didn't know how big it was, I never got to the other side. Eventually, of course, those woods were cut down and houses were built. And that's just how things are. If we didn't cut down the woods, then none of us would have a place to live. But that's why it's so important to protect and preserve the Morton Arboretum, so that kids today have some woods to go to that'll never be cut down. That their kids someday might be able to go to the Morton Arboretum and just run around in the woods, see what they find. That's why I support the Morton Arboretum. That's why I'm glad it's there, and that's why I hope you'll do everything you can to make sure that it will continue to be there. Thanks.
Oh, why do they always get tangled up? It's the same thing every year. And what trees do these go on? And I'm going to pull them out, and then half of them aren't going to work. Oh, hello. I'm John Featherstone, the creative director and designer of Illumination. We're out here just starting to get ready. Thank you for joining us for the gala this evening. It's really important that we support the great work that's done out here at the Morton Arboretum. So remember, this is Chicago, so vote early, vote often, and bid early and bid often. We're trying to raise a lot of good money to support the work that's done here. Now, one lucky bidder this evening will have my team and I come and create their own mini illumination experience in their own backyard. And remember, it doesn't have to just be at the holidays. It could be for a birthday, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, any kind of special celebration. And you can have us come and do this anytime you want. So remember, keep bidding. Let's see how much money we can raise. And again, thank you for joining us this evening.
Hey everybody, everybody. It's Congresswoman Lauren Underwood. I'm in Naperville. Wanted to just stop in and thank you all so much for supporting the Morton Arboretum and tonight's Evergreen Gala. You know, being virtual for these kinds of celebrations still does feel a little odd, but when I think about opportunities to support great organizations like the Morton Arboretum, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I think about the memories I have of visiting the Arboretum as a child, either with my Girl Scout troop or with my family. I especially remember that fall festival, getting my cord apple with like all the good caramel and the candy corn in there, and just like walking around the community, the park, and you know, making sure that we could bond as a family together. Those are the kind of great memories I know so many students throughout our region have when it comes to the Morton Arboretum. But in my work in Congress, they've been such a great partner on all of our efforts around conservation and climate change, obviously preserving the physical health and well-being, and even supporting our economy. I mean, the Morton Arboretum does it all. So please be generous in your contributions tonight. Dig deep because we need the Morton Arboretum to remain strong and vibrant. Thanks so much for all that you do. Continue to take good care of yourselves, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.
My name is Kurt Dreisilker. I'm a head of natural resources and collections horticulture. I'm here on the west side of the Arboretum grounds, standing over the DuPage River. The DuPage River flows through 1.5 miles of the Arboretum, and it really flows through the heart of the Arboretum. It flows through about 12 collections. In 2014, we partnered with the Army Corps of Engineers to help restore the DuPage River. And we did that because we were seeing that the riverbanks were eroding and there were problems with the river ecosystem. Some of the problems also impacted our tree collections at the Arboretum, and over time we found that we were losing trees because of the erosion. In order to complete this project, we had to first start by removing the invasive species. We devoted 72 acres of our property to this project, and so many of those acres had woody invasive species like buckthorn and honeysuckle just filling the landscape. Our next step was to recontour the slopes. Recontouring these slopes and stabilizing the slopes helps to improve the health and safety of our trees. And once we did that, to protect them from eroding, we planted native vegetation. As part of this project, we also planted 850 trees and shrubs native to Illinois along the river. One lucky winner will get to come kayaking and see all the river restoration in person. So I hope that's you.
Good evening. My name is Carter Ream. I don't think she needs any introduction. As some of you guys know, our dad, Robert Ream, was a longtime chairman of the board and trustee for Morton Arboretum. Our family has always been supporters of the Arboretum and everything it stands for.
Our planet is so important. We all need to protect it. And that's why I hope that everyone is super generous tonight, because the forest needs our help. And that's all.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Spiess, Vice President of Development for the Morton Arboretum. Thank you all for joining us tonight and for your generous support as members and donors of the Morton Arboretum. I am thrilled to share that tonight your support will have double the impact. The Ream family has generously pledged to match all gifts 1-to-1 up to $50,000. Bob Ream was a longtime trustee and longtime chairman of the Board of Trustees, and his impact is felt throughout the Arboretum. His family is carrying on his legacy by inspiring others to give generously just like he did. Thank you so much for considering supporting us tonight with a general donation or through the silent auction. Thank you so much for being with us tonight and for being tree champions. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Hello, I'm Bill Curtis. From my house to your house, sorry we can't be together this year to toast the towering accomplishments of the Morton Arboretum. But my treehouse here in the Oakwoods always reminds me of Morton's vital mission. From my perch, I thank you all for your continued generosity that will help the Arboretum ensure that the planet remains evergreen.
Walking in the park on Spring's Eve, I am struck by the simplicity, the beauty of nature. I look at the trees, gnarled and misshapen, colorless and barren, soon to be budding, brimming, bursting with life. Yet today, naked and beautiful. As I look at the tree, I see a glimpse of me. At one with nature, I am the tree. Therefore, I can believe I too am beautiful. Naked of enhancements, naked of outward gestures, vulnerable, real, imperfect, yet beautiful. My name's Vera Smith, and I have been a member here at the Morton Arboretum for about 25 years. I'm a perennial partner, and this is my daughter, Marissa.
I'm also a perennial partner, and I've been a member for 11 years.
When I'm walking through here, not only is it calming me and relaxing me and nurturing me, I find that my creativity is stimulated. The ideas come to me. I see a tree, I see the shape of it, I see something, and so I try to remember.
What I enjoy about the Arboretum is that it's my sanctuary. I feel really at peace and at home. And I'm so glad that my mom surprised me with the birthday gift of membership 11 years ago now, because it gave me an opportunity to really, experience that.
It's a peaceful place. It's a safe place. And it offers people space to be alone, comfortably, to think and evaluate and decide how to handle the changes that we're facing. Sometimes it just takes the silence and maybe a few cicadas or birdsong to bring that out. I wish that for everybody. In 1987, I read an ad for people who might want to interview to become a naturalist guide. So I learned much more about the woodies, the trees, shrubs, and vines here through classes with scientists and staff during all the guide training that I had for 13 years that I was doing this. And then I could pass it on to children and adults in the guide program, which was amazing because I learned from them as well.
This understanding of the natural world that you get from coming here, I mean, it's something that's cultivated over time. That's why my relationship with the Arboretum has been as long as it has, because, it took me years and years and years to really kind of understand more or less what I was looking at. But now that I do, I just have so much more appreciation for it. And it started right here in the Children's Garden. I'm an environmental specialist dealing with native plants and ecological restoration. So a lot of my work in particular actually involves doing that in areas like Fort Sheridan, which is a forest preserve up along Lake Michigan, and other forest preserves around Illinois and Indiana. My first experiences with the Children's Garden were when I was, 9, 10, but the volunteering is what did it. The idea of being in this place and, in the Arboretum and seeing all the work that had been done to kind of manage and restore this place, you look at the prairie and the woods. Fast forward a few years and all of a sudden I'm working in the field and there it is.
Trees are life, and everyone should have a tree to call their own. Before Frank had passed, and we were at the Arboretum all the time. He had gotten sick actually on his birthday in 2006. And it was very hard from there, but I will tell you that the Arboretum was always a source of strength for him. So when people say that they get renewed by nature, that's exactly what Frank had in mind without even knowing that. After Frank had died, I had decided in my will that the Morton Arboretum was going to be part of the legacy that I could give to the Arboretum to sustain the Arboretum.
One of the things that we've learned here over the years was how valuable trees are and how valuable the Arboretum staff is and what they're doing for research around the world. We are so proud to support this fantastic place.
Paperbark maple has been determined it is threatened in China. It's a small to medium-sized tree, beautiful bark. It's always got a kind of controlled form. All of the paperbark maples in the cultivated part of the world, Europe, United States, the genetic depth of that population in cultivation is very, very narrow. Basically one parent. So it'd be like panda bears. How many panda bears do you need to represent the natural genetic population that's out there? And genetic depth is really important so plants can be resistant to a changing environment, new pests, new diseases. And so that's really fundamental. In fact, in the oak world, we are leading that of really understanding the depth of the oak genetics and the evolution and the migration of where oaks have evolved in the world.
Tree collections like the Arboretums represent repositories of biodiversity. They sample lots of species from across the tree of life and lots of populations from within those species so that we have a living stockpile of the genes that may allow us to keep our forests healthy, strong, and safe in the future. When you go into the herbarium and you look through the shelves, what you find is a time capsule, a record of what was growing in a given place at a given time to understand where did all the world's oaks come from? When did they arise? Why do we have so many of them? When we look at widespread species in Mexico, genetically, genomically, now we're after the more practical question from a conservation standpoint of knowing what that diversity is.
There are 33 species of oaks threatened with extinction in Mexico. There are 31 species for which we don't even have enough data to emit an assessment. There is an urgent need for research in this area. My name is Silvia Alvarez Clar, and I am the tree conservation ecologist at the Morton Arboretum. I lead and conduct field projects mainly focused on oak conservation in biodiversity hotspots. We work with local stakeholders, with farmers, with students, with other scientists all over the world, and our focus is to try to prevent tree extinctions globally. Because the climate here at the Morton Arboretum will not allow us to plant Mexican oaks within our collection, it is very important that we conduct conservation projects on site at the destinations where some of these species that are endangered occur, such as the arroyo oak or Quercus brandigii in the Baja California Peninsula of Mexico. It is endangered because there are no trees that we have found that are younger than 100 years. This is like a retirement community for oaks. We are not sure of why this species is so rare and why there's no regeneration. When you support the Morton Arboretum, your impact does not end at our gates. You are saving trees here and around the world.
Here at the Arboretum, we're all joined by a common interest, which is we want these forests here forever. We want these trees here forever. Just learning to see trees changes the world because it changes your understanding, how you behave, and it makes you want to conserve what you see.
That's the reason why I bring people to the Arboretum, and that's the reason why I support the Arboretum.
They've scientifically proven that there are benefits that come from being surrounded by nature.
The vision of Joy Morton 100 years ago has provided this place, and we're very proud to support that legacy to go forward in time. Thank you to you all.
Thank you for giving generously.
Thank you so much for your support so that families like mine can come to the Arboretum and enjoy trees and nature.
We can only continue our mission to plant and protect trees with philanthropic support. We cannot do this alone. We need everyone's generosity, everyone's help.
Please be generous at this evening's Evergreen Gala in support of the Morton Arboretum. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Christy Rollinson, forest ecologist here at the Morton Arboretum. And this is Andrew Munoz, our plant breeding assistant. I invite you to take a moment and think about a place here at the Arboretum that is meaningful to you, or a tree or a place in nature that has significance in your life. We all have a vision, don't we?
We are here tonight to raise funds for the Morton Arboretum, the trees in our community and the trees around the world. If we can all give something, what a difference we can make together. There are many ways that your support can make an impact. A gift of $5,000 can inspire the youngest tree champions in our community by funding a year of new curriculum materials for Little Trees, the Arboretum's early childhood education program, allowing children to learn in a nature-based atmosphere that is positive, peaceful, and safe.
A gift of $2,000 helps us write, publish, and disseminate important conservation resources and share them with other botanic gardens, protected areas, and universities so we can prioritize conservation action around the world.
Before I was a tree breeding assistant, I was an Arboretum intern. $1,000 can help sustain the Arboretum's renowned internship programs, introducing young people to careers in plant science.
$500 helps us support structural improvements to the ever-popular children's garden. It also helps us plant native wildflowers and shrubs that benefit wildlife.
$250 enables us to breed urban trees that are more resistant to pests, diseases, and a changing climate. $250 can also help us fund an educational program for our children's garden youth volunteers.
A $100 donation allows us to distribute the acorns of threatened oak species to 10 other gardens. If we're going to save the oaks, we need to share the seeds with others who can help plant and conserve them.
So please, take out your phones and make a donation to the Morton Arboretum. Every contribution makes a difference.
You can easily make a donation by texting, through GiftSmart, or by going online. The pandemic has taken a significant financial toll on the Morton Arboretum, and we need your support now more than ever.
Thank you to our many generous sponsors who made tonight's program possible, especially Oak-level sponsors, A. Merrick Fine Jewelry, the G. Carl Ball Family Foundation, and Charles and Monica McQuaid. Also, thank you to our restaurant sponsors, the Bien Chucha Group, Gia Mia, Livia, and Blackberry Market, and to our floral partner, Phillips.
And don't forget, the silent auction is still open and taking your bids until 9 p.m. Central tonight. There are many exciting prizes, including Arboretum exclusive experiences, educational offerings for our young tree champions, gorgeous jewelry, and so much more.
So keep bidding, make your gifts, and know how grateful we are to everyone watching. Thank you for being champions of trees.
Thank you, everyone, for supporting Evergreen, the gala for the Morton Arboretum.
The Morton Arboretum relies on the generosity of donors like you.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Thank you
for being a champion of trees.
Thank you. Gracias. Thank you.
Thank you. Your support allows us to continue critical tree care. Thank you.
Thank you for all your support.
Thank you.
Thanks to you, we can continue the Arboretum's mission to plant and protect trees for a greener, healthier, and more beautiful world.
Thank you for giving.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your support.
Gracias.
Thank you for your generosity.
Thank you for helping us save trees.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you for supporting Evergreen.
Thank you for giving generously.